After 3 years together, she said, if we got serious, I'd have to marry you or break your heart. I just can't do either. Then left me for someone more exciting and told me I'm still her best friend. So I vanished without a word. Months later, she came back crying, but I was already gone. We were together for 3 years. I'm 34 now, and those 3 years felt like the realest thing I've ever had with someone. We weren't just a couple, we were best friends, teammates, partners in everything. We had our routines, late-night walks, road trips to nowhere, inside jokes that no one else could follow. Her laugh always hit differently when she was truly happy, and for a while, I thought I was the reason behind it. We didn't have the perfect relationship, but who does? We argued sometimes, about time, about priorities, sometimes about nothing at all. But I always believed it was normal friction in an otherwise solid bond. She used to say we were weirdly synced, and I believed her. We could finish each other's thoughts and knew when the other needed space without saying a word. There were so many little things that made it feel real. And maybe that's why what she said caught me off guard. It was just an ordinary Tuesday night. We were sitting on the couch, halfway through a documentary she picked, both of us half paying attention. Somewhere between the topic on screen and a conversation about our future plans, she went quiet. Then she turned to me and said, if we actually got together for real, like really got serious, I think I'd either have to marry you or break your heart. And I can't do either of those things. I thought she was joking at first. The way she said it was so casual, like she was commenting on the weather or a movie scene. But she wasn't smiling. She wasn't even looking at me. I asked her what that meant, what it got together for real, even mean after 3 years. Weren't we already in it? Her answer didn't help. She said something like, we're in this weird middle place. And it's safe. You're safe. But sometimes I feel like I'm supposed to want more. Safe. That word sat in my chest like a locked door. I always thought love was supposed to feel safe. She added, it's not that I don't care about you. You know I do. But if I stay, it feels like I'd have to commit in a way I'm not sure about. And if I leave, I know it would destroy you. I don't want either. I didn't have a clever reply. I didn't get angry. I just sat there, trying to process the fact that someone I had given so much of myself to, someone I was ready to build a life with, was telling me they didn't know if I was what they really wanted. She wasn't cruel. She wasn't cold. That almost made it harder. Her voice was soft, like she felt bad, but not enough to change anything. The rest of the night was quiet. We didn't argue. We didn't cry. We just sat with the distance between us, even though we were only inches apart. I went home that night thinking maybe it was just a moment of doubt, that people go through phases like that, that maybe, after a talk or some time, we'd figure it out. But something had shifted. I didn't know it yet, but I was already being written out of her story. The days after that conversation were strange. We didn't officially break up, but something was missing, like the heartbeat of the relationship had gone flat. We still talked. We still met up sometimes. But the warmth wasn't there anymore. The way she used to look at me with curiosity, with softness, that had faded into something more distant. Like she was watching the days tick down. I held on to hope for a bit longer than I probably should have. I told myself that people go through rough patches. That she was just afraid of commitment, maybe. Or maybe she was overwhelmed and needed space. I didn't want to believe that someone could spend 3 whole years with you, share a bed, family dinners, lazy Sundays, birthdays, and still decide it wasn't enough. Then one evening, about 3 weeks after our couch talk, she asked to meet at this little diner we used to go to. The kind of place where the staff knew us, where she used to order the same sandwich every time and steal fries off my plate. I thought maybe she was ready to talk things through. Maybe she'd realized what we had was worth fighting for. But as soon as I sat down, I could tell. Her energy was different. Polite, but formal. Her eyes scanned the room more than they met mine. And then, in a way too casual tone, she dropped it. I've started seeing someone. She said it like it was just a piece of news, not a landmine. I didn't react. Or at least, I tried not to. I asked how long. She said not long. But something in the way she said it told me it had already been brewing when we had that talk on the couch. She said he made her feel excited again. That things with us had felt too predictable. That he was spontaneous and made her laugh in new ways. I sat there nodding like an idiot, pretending I was fine while my mind was doing its own kind of collapse. Then she leaned in slightly and said, "But you'll always be my best friend." That line. I don't think she even realized how insulting it was. Like I was supposed to feel honored. Like the consolation prize for losing the love of my life was getting to be her emotional safety net while she ran off to chase butterflies with someone else. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just looked at her and said, "Thanks for telling me." We split the bill. I left a tip. And we walked out into the night like two strangers who used to know each other well. The part that hit me hardest wasn't just the breakup. It was the way she tried to frame it like a gift. Like she was being generous by offering me her leftover affection in the form of friendship. As if I hadn't spent 3 years giving her all of me, just to be told I was now safe, familiar, and replaceable. I haven't spoken to her since that night. She texted me a week later. Hope you're doing okay. Still here if you want to talk. I never replied. Because what could I even say? Thanks for making me your backup plan. Glad you're excited again. The night I left that diner, I walked to my car in silence. No music, no calls, just the sound of my own thoughts echoing through an empty parking lot. I sat in the driver's seat for 20 minutes before starting the engine, not because I didn't know where to go, but because I didn't feel like going anywhere. There's a kind of pain that doesn't show up all at once. It comes in waves, in quiet hours, in the way your routine suddenly feels off. I kept reaching for my phone to text her stupid little things, like a funny video or something I saw at the grocery store that reminded me of her. Then I'd stop halfway, remember she wasn't my person anymore, and put the phone down again. I wasn't angry. At least, not in the way people think. I wasn't plotting revenge or replaying arguments in my head. What I felt was this heavy, unshakable sadness. Not because I'd lost her, but because I realized she never really saw me the way I saw her. When she said, "You'll always be my best friend," I think she believed that was kindness. But to me, it was the final twist of the knife. I didn't want to be her backup. I didn't want to be the guy she kept in her life for comfort while someone else got her excitement. I had loved her fully, honestly, without playing games, and in the end, that wasn't enough. So I smiled politely. I wished her well. I told her I hoped she found what she was looking for. Then I deleted her number, blocked her on socials, and started the process of rebuilding myself from the ground up. Some days were worse than others. I'd see couples walking hand in hand, and it would sting. I'd hear our old songs playing in a cafe, and I'd have to walk out. The hardest part? Accepting that closure wasn't coming. There was no final conversation that would tie everything up neatly. Just the space she left and the weight I had to carry alone. But slowly, almost invisibly, I started healing. I started going out again. I reconnected with old friends I had drifted from. I read more, traveled a bit, learned how to be comfortable being by myself again. There were moments of clarity, too, like realizing I had made so many decisions around her, around us, that I had forgotten who I was without her. And now, months later, here I am, still healing, but standing. I won't lie and say I'm completely over it. Some wounds don't close cleanly, but I've stopped waiting for her to come back, to apologize, to explain, because I've come to understand something I wish I knew earlier. Love shouldn't feel like a favor someone's doing for you. It shouldn't be conditional on how exciting you are or how safe you make someone feel. It should be mutual, clear, and grounded in respect. I didn't need a best friend. I needed the woman I thought I was going to marry. And when she walked away, I finally understood. If someone can leave you that easily, they were never really yours to begin with. So here's to moving forward. Not with bitterness, not with regret, just with quiet strength. And maybe someday, when she looks back and realizes what she lost, she'll understand. I didn't walk away because I stopped loving her. I walked away because I finally started loving myself more.